What is up, RECN Network? We are live again. I had to change the camera angle to make it sideways so the one and only Jay Lee Tuck can clip it and the quality is high. I am here with special guest George Brown. He is my contractor. We're going to go through, I'm going to interview him. And before that, though, I want to give you a quick update on what's going on. I received some news yesterday that my appraisal came in $8,000 lower on a flip. So I already kind of counted my dollars because everything was done on the home inspection. We're on our way to closing next week, and I didn't think that our appraisal would come in low at all, and it did. So valuable lesson there. That's an $8,000 lesson. Is number one, make sure that you're not counting your money before you have it, and number two, make sure you surround yourself with a really solid team, from your contractors to your real estate agents, because we're going to peel this thing. I'm sure that we'll be able to come out on top somehow, some way with the other party. We'll make it happen because we have great quality work and we have an amazing team that we're surrounded through. So, for those of you hopping on, all of our live viewers here at lunch, we're going to get right into it. I want to real quick share my story of how I met the one and only George Brown, and why it's important to come across such genuine people like he is. And then I think George will talk more about the contracting side and the type of people he likes working for, and why he's unique in his own way with his values, his morals. So real quick, I have been investing for just about 3 years now, and through the journey of investing in real estate, I'm always looking for the value add opportunities. What I mean by that is what houses, so we're sitting in here in this. Actually, yeah, it's probably a good thing to tell everybody. This is a brand new flip I get in 2 weeks. George is doing all the work for it. And we just went through, priced it out. We did our walkthrough. I got this from a good friend of mine who's a wholesaler. And through this, looking for all opportunities, whether it's a rental or flip, to make renovations to increase the value of the property, force the appreciation higher. And inside of that, you need a team. If you want to leverage your time, you need somebody who has a business surrounded through renovating the properties, and that comes down to contractors. Now, my experience with contractors in my 3 years has been quite the journey, to where I have been the general contractor and subbed things out. That was great because I learned a lot. Not so great because there was a lot of time into it when I should be going out and finding more deals. And then additionally, I've had general contractors who weren't putting guys on the jobs, the work was shoddy, and there was a lot of upcharging when subcontracting the prices out. So all in all, I'm always on this quest to find more contractors. And then it was through one of my subcontractors that I asked him, I said, hey, who do you know that you would vouch for who's a great GC? And he said, George. So I actually gave me two people. I talked to them, and it came out on top that George came through in the clutch for me on the one flip, and then, I don't know, what, 6 later? How many? This is about 6, probably our 6th one, maybe more. And we're still going strong. And now we built such a good relationship that I'm able to better price out properties because I know how it works with George. We're able to get through properties quicker and design them. Like, hey, you remember the property we did? Like, we did one right down the street from here, and we're just literally looking at this and saying what we would do differently, and how do we can improve on our last property that's exactly like this down the street. So in general, George, you and I talked about before we went live, like in the importance of having a good contractor on your side. What makes you different?
Well, I'm not going to badmouth anybody, and that I won't do. I can only speak for myself and my crew.
Yeah.
I'm only as good as my crew.
Yeah.
I've handpicked everybody that's worked for me since I've started this, and I've been this for 3 decades. I've had some of the people have been with me for 15 years, 13 years, 10 years, you name it, and I've been very fortunate that they've stuck around. But they're all master craftsmen in their own right, no matter what they do.
You've had, how long has like Mateo and Mario been with you?
Mario's been with me for about almost 15 years. Mateo's been with me for almost 13 years.
13. So that speaks volumes if one of your contractors sticks with you for that long. Yeah.
Well, they're good people. We're family, basically. And
Mateo's probably going to watch this. He's always liking my stuff.
He's better at social networking than I am. I can tell you that. He's a smart guy. I'm fortunate because I have experts in their fields, truly. And the good thing is they know I work side by side with them. I'm not somebody that sits back and allows it happen without me.
Yeah.
Number one, I enjoy it.
Yeah.
It's not that they need me, but I enjoy it.
Yeah.
But the fact that they know that I know enough
Yeah.
helps quite a bit.
Yeah.
But with them, you have Mario, who's a type of individual who will just jump in and start taking care of business right away. If something comes up, there's an issue, he'll fix it.
Yeah.
Mateo's the type of person, as you've seen,
Mm-hmm.
he might frustrate you at first because
More analytical.
he gets, he's brilliant. He'll sit on a job site, he'll look at it, and you're saying, what in God's name is he doing? Well, he's looking at the job as a whole, and he's already analyzing in his head what can happen, what can go wrong on this job site, and he's coming up with solutions before we start to tackle it. So that if we do have a situation where a problem comes up, or a situation comes up, he already has a good head start in that solution.
Yeah.
Which, number one, saves time, which in turn saves you money, and that's what the whole game is about.
Yeah. What do you look for as far as for the investors out here, the flippers and the people who are using contractors? From a contractor standpoint, what are you looking for in the investor? What makes your life easier? What makes you want to work with somebody?
Someone that has an understanding of the game itself, because it's a business.
So I'm out.
No, you're a bright young man, and I can say young since I'm 57. Okay, but I look for people that are knowledgeable, that are open-minded, that realize they don't know everything. Because I'm 57, and I don't know everything.
That's me.
I'm asking questions every day, and I'm not afraid to say I'm not sure, but I'll find out. That's what I look for in investors, because we do pick and choose. I've never advertised one day in my life for business because thank God I don't have to. We're very fortunate. People come to us. And
you've told me that you have to say no so many times because
I do.
You only want so much business and you pick and choose. You're at that point in your career.
Well, it's not just that. It's not just the amount of business we have. I got to tell you, I'm not going to take a job just because I need work. I won't do it. If I don't like the person or the situation, I'll walk away from it.
And those are years of experience talking.
A very smart man told me a long time ago, you never lose money on a job you don't take. And I've been very fortunate using that knowledge. You understand?
Yeah, I get it.
Typically, if a job is a pain in the butt before it starts, it's a pain in the butt during the job and after the job. And sometimes that's client-related. Yeah. Sometimes it's just the situation of the project itself. Yeah. And there's certain homes that you're well aware, you buy at a certain level, you have to limit yourself as to what you can put into it because you don't want to top yourself out at the market in that particular neighborhood. Yeah. So sometimes you have to walk away from those too.
And I'll tell you what, it's what George won't say is that he is extremely trustworthy, honest, true to his word, and to me that means a lot. And I'm sure it's the same way with you. That's the same people that George will hire. It's the same people he wants to work with, and that goes a long way. So again, when you build your team, it may not be like this the first time, but it's because of again, I'm not using any names so I can say it out loud and it's authentic. It's because of the bad experiences with the contractors, maybe not so much the bad contractors, but the bad experiences with the contractors that lead you to maybe somebody that you're going to build your team with. So embrace the struggle, embrace the hard parts, and know that, one day you'll get out of there. Just keep on pushing. It just takes one connection. Like I asked my electrician, who do you know? Because I'm in need of a general contractor again, and then here we are. And George has rental properties, so it makes life easier when he's investing himself. He understands the game. He understands what we need to get done. And speaking of his rentals, as we wrap this up, I want George to share his story. He was just telling me about how he structures his rental leases. Tyrus, I know you're on here. Tyrus manages over 80, 100 in Baltimore City. George has a unique way of how he does his leases, and I want him to share that quick story.
It's not on all of them. It's some of them. It depends on the location. But one way to entice people to pay me on time, which depending on where you are, and that's not even fair to say. No matter where you are, timely rent payments aren't always the easiest thing to collect. Yeah. I'm fortunate that I can collect them. Yeah. But the way I've structured a lot of my deals is, say for example, rent might be $800 a month. The lease itself will say $900 a month, and there's an addendum in there. If you pay me by the 1st, then it's really you pay me $800, so you get a $100 credit towards that. But if you don't, then you have a 3-day grace period. Once that grace period is up, it's $900, and you can still pay me the penalty. So it's not a $100 penalty because the lease is actually $900. Also, what I find by doing that is your rentals at that point shows your value of the house a little bit higher, because we all know that typical is 1% of the rentals that you're bringing in will be the value of the house, or at least that's what it's based on. Nowadays, with the new federal regulations, it might be a little bit different.
Yeah, and when you look at the leases, when you send them into the bank, when the bank's underwriting it, the fact that your lease says 900 and when you know that you're collecting 800, like above and beyond the value, like they have to value it too. So there's a market value and there's the appraised value, and I'm sure that helps a ton, especially running off cap.
Well, when people see that they have an opportunity to save $100, it's not chicken feed anymore to a lot of people.
And they're going to pay on time.
Struggling. So I give them a very nice house for a very fair price. But at the end of the day, it's still a business, and I need to take care of my family too. So I give them an opportunity to save money. If they're not willing to take advantage of that, well, that's on them.
So as we wrap up, I have one last question. Out of all your years of experience in business and real estate investing, what's the one greatest piece of advice that you can give?
The greatest piece of advice.
I got him on the spot right now.
There's actually a lot.
If you had to boil it down,
anybody that says, if you are involved with a contractor that has told you that he's never had an issue on a job, run. We've all had them. The difference between a good contractor and a bad contractor is that a good contractor will stand tall, and he will correct those issues. You might not even know that those issues ever existed, because it's something small. They'll just fix it. If it's a larger situation, a good contractor will come to you and let you know this is what's happened. Rest assured, we're taking care of it. All right, but I at least felt the need to bring it to your attention so you know this is your house, this is your business. We wanted to let you know, keep you abreast of the situation. So I've had many stories where we were called into repair situations like that because they did not stand tall. So that's the one thing I can say, and I attribute that to my guys. And I'm only as good as my guys, and I'm very fortunate they're here. And I'm only as good as my partner. I have a tremendous partner. He became my partner because I did his house 20 years ago. And he was so impressed with the quality of the work and also the care that we took in his house. We treated it like it was our own. He told me, he said, when I retire, I'm going into business with you. I blew it off. And then 16 years later, I got a phone call, said, George, I put in my papers. I said, hey, congratulations. The name of our new company is All American Intelligence Solutions. I said, what in God's name are you talking about?
It's on your shirt.
And then he told me. And he was serious. And that's how the new corporation came about. I owned Anchors Away Construction for decades. And when I went into business with him, we merged everything. So we do residential, government, commercial work, furniture installation, demountable walls. It's a full-service turnkey operation. But the one thing I can say about all this is surround yourself with good people. And you don't have many choices in life. That's a choice you can make. That's a choice. I
think he's saying I'm an example of that.
Absolutely, yes.
I'm just kidding.
Bright young man on the rise.
So if you guys have any questions, contracting related, relationship related, put them in the comments. George is a social media monster. He'll be on to... But you're going to be on. Will you go into the comments and answer any questions anybody has?
Absolutely, I will.
I'll remind you. I'll text you.
You have to show me how to do it.
Yeah, right. You get more. He gets more likes and comments than I ever get. We got...
I will say this before you leave. Don't be afraid to walk away. Do not be afraid to walk away.
Oh, you just had me walk away.
Period. End of story.
Wait, from a relationship or a house?
Anything. They're all bad. If it's bad, get the hell out.
Well, you had me walk away from that.
I did have you walk away. I am talking about houses. But if you want to talk about relationships,
those two.
I've been married 20 years. I'm very happy.
Yeah, I had one where I priced it out. This was the first one that I've been in a relationship with George that I've gotten under contract. I priced out. I had him come out, and he saw more things than typical that I missed, and therefore it blew it out of budget. And that was the first one. That was the first one. And you know what? I learned more from that one than the other ones that we priced out correctly. And I'll tell you what, just walking through properties is amazing. So, this is tough, but I'm going to show you real quick what we got going on. 3-bed, 1-bath rancher with this addition. And I'm only going to show you this living room. Everything else isn't worth it. But from this view, we're taking this bad boy out down to a knee wall. George is taking out that wall. And we are putting in the island right there. And then this kitchen is going to be completely renovated, obviously. And then you have your HVAC, and then you got your bedrooms and stuff down there, and it's just a one-level rancher. So that's the quickest little tour. What are you most excited about this house? At the finished product, like what part of the finished product are you most excited about?
The total package. I know what they look like when we start, and I love seeing the finished product. I mean, there's not one particular aspect of it.
Well, this kitchen.
About the kitchen.
Yeah, this kitchen, because you convinced me to keep all this wood.
I've been wrong before.
We will see. We'll be back. George will have this thing done in 4 weeks and under budget. It's going to be great.
Yeah, what's our budget?
All right, RECN Stories. Comment, questions for George Brown. He'll be on to answer them. Anything contractor related, renovation related, strategy related, rentals. He's got all the answers, relationships. Thanks for tuning in. See you next week.